Guys, it's Emma from Misfit Gardening, and oh, and a teddy bear. Hey Ted. I'm just coming out here actually to do a quick video on weeding, because I've been trying to teach my husband what's a weed and what isn't a weed in the garden beds. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to show you. So this is bindweed that's coming up. It's quite young. There's a bigger one here, but these kind of almost arrow-like heads, and they twirl around with tendrils. This is actually a lettuce that was planted, and I've mostly sort of scattered the seed in, so things kind of come up a bit haphazardly. If you grow in rows, you can tell what's a weed a lot easier. But there's different stages of this bindweed here, so I thought I'd show it. There's another one. This is all just stuff that's coming up down from the big maple tree. And this is predominantly the weeds that I tend to get in the beds because I didn't put cardboard down when I made them. I literally just stuck a bunch of soil inside them, and I didn't put the cardboard down like I normally do, so now I'm kind of regretting it. But when I pull them up, you'll get a long tail, and it's not all of it that comes out because the roots go quite deep, like so. And if you dig down deep enough, you can definitely pull out a lot more of the root, because every bit of root that's in there will start to grow a new one. So, and this doesn't want to go in the compost because it's gonna come back and make things worse. So I tend to leave them on the ground, or put them in the garbage. If I leave them in the ground, then they'll sort of dry up with the sun. Yeah, got a real young one here. It's got a sort of reddish leaf on it. Again, I'm just pulling them up. The other thing that will help you tell that it's bindweed, I don't know if you can see, but it's actually got a milky sap that comes out when it's broken. So there you go, there's a good long root there, huh? Bindweed's pretty invasive, so it's always best to pull it when it's small. Don't let it flower. And if you're unsure, you can let weeds grow a little bit bigger until you're able to identify them. You can see here there's lots of white sap that's kind of coming up. There you go, you can see it there, in there. But I'm just pulling this out by hand. There's quite a bit, and for me it definitely comes up at the edges of the box. And occasionally sort of across the middle. Mulching heavily works really well, and you only get a couple that come up afterwards. So there you go. I've got the rest of the boxes to get on with. Anyway, I hope that was a little bit helpful on what a weed is. Oh, before I go, there's some more here. Oh. So, got a bit going on here. There's this is the seed from the cottonwood trees. This is definitely a weed. It's not a plant that I've planted. There's another one up here under the garlic, and that's also a weed. Quite what that one is. Oh, it's an older version of the one I've just pulled. So it started like this one and became ruffled like that. And some more of it. No. So easy peasy, and one of the reasons why I love growing in raised beds is because it's much easier to try and tackle the weeds. For me though, some of the bigger problems are that you get it coming up around the boxes. So in this bed we've got some grass that's coming up. Some more grass here coming up. Oh, look at all those hill bugs or woodlouse. I really wish I could get the chickens in here, but they'd probably destroy everything else. Just pulling this stuff up too. This is roots by long runners as well, so any little bits of root that are in, it'll come up. But again, some heavy mulch will help take care of those. And this right here, that is a dandelion. You can leave it in if you want, but I'm not that bothered. Now, some of the lettuces that I've planted look very similar to the dandelion. This is a romaine lettuce that's starting. You can see it's a different colour. It does have a similar leaf structure. And if you're unfamiliar with weeds versus lettuce, like here, this is a lettuce. It's part of the reason why I grow unusual varieties is because they look very different. So here, this is a freckled variety, so that's the lettuce, and this is more bindweed. And here we go, another, this is a bigger bindweed. And you can see they've got a little bit of difference in between the colours from the bindweed that I have in the garden. Got some that are these kind of reddish ones and some that are very green. See, here's a green one that's come up. And there you have it. Some quick weeding in the garden. If you liked this video, please go ahead and hit subscribe, or come on over to misfitgardening.com and see what we're doing up there. Huh, Ted? Yeah?